daughter, okay? And she gets to do what she wants to do. So, welcome back for another live. We are feeding her, and I don't know, maybe she's done eating. But welcome to another live, guys. We're gonna talk about money, business, doing business in Africa, answering all your questions about that stuff today on this live. Actually, let me see if I can get one of my staff to pin a post. I'll be back. Y'all can still hear me. If you're just joining, welcome. Hi. Hello. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. Morning, afternoon, evening. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know, where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from? Are you able to pin a post? To put a post on the live? The people drop their business questions. I would pin it. Okay. All right. So today we are talking about starting businesses on the continent. Starting businesses on the continent. What are the challenges with starting businesses on the continent? Challenges with starting businesses in general. One of the things I'm going to say, I'm going to preface by saying, guys, is the challenges with starting a business, and we're going to make a drink. We're going to make a little drinking drink. The challenges with starting a business on the continent is not different than starting a business anywhere. Let me just say that, right? That some of these challenges are just challenges that business owners face all over the world, not just because you're doing business on the continent. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, guys. So, not just because you're doing business on the continent, some of these challenges are just like risk of doing business in general. So, a little bit of background. I've run my business for the past 7 years. I've run it in the US, I've run it on the continent. We also have a local business right now in the Gambia, which is a security company. Um, and my family members have businesses all over the continent. So I have experience on what it takes, or at least I've had experience on how a business function in the US. And before running my business full time, guys, I was a business analyst. And a business analyst is somebody that basically works with companies, for companies, and generate, help them generate money, help them simplify their processes, optimize their processes. So I've had experience with seeing what a business looks like at scale abroad. And now I'm having firsthand experience in what it looks like to have a startup business on the continent when it comes to our local business. Hi, guys. Hello. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we are talking about starting a business on the continent, what it takes, what are the challenges, all that good stuff. Please drop your questions. Let me pin this right here. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Kuzo. Welcome to the live. Oh, it's already pinned. Oh, okay. How are you doing? Welcome to the live. We are talking all things business, which is my favorite topic. I'm a business coach. So, what I do all day, every day is help people start businesses. But when we are talking about starting a business on the continent, there are some unique challenges and opportunities. We're going to talk about the opportunities and the challenges that we have when it comes to starting a business on the continent. My sister is here. She's a medical doctor. She's not going to show up on camera, but she can hear me so we can ask questions. She's a medical doctor, cardiologist, as a matter of fact, that's practicing in Cameroon. And so she can talk what the challenges are of running that business, um, and what that looks like and the unique challenges. And she's also had a personal brand of granolas that she sold in Ivory Coast, in Cameroon, all over Africa. So she can talk about the opportunities and all that stuff. So we have a good mix. Okay. We got a good mix right here in this building. My goddaughter is here. She's 7 months old. She can talk about the opportunities she has living on the continent. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. So if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to drop your questions below. One of the questions that I get asked all the time is, what's the business I should be starting? Sandra, I want to start a business on the continent. What's the business I should be starting? That's the number one question I get all of the time. Hi, Esther. Hello. Good day. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. What's the business I should be starting? And that's an interesting loaded question. I say to people all the time, it depends on who you are. Yes, you can start a business, but do you want to start a business that you're going to be passionate about? Do you want to start a business that's going to actually move the needle, or do you just want to make a, or do you just want to make money? There's a difference between starting a business and making money. Do you just want to make money, or do you want to start a business? Two different things. There are easier ways to make money that doesn't require you to start a business. You could invest in a business. Right? If you just want to make money, you don't need to start a business. You could just go and be a silent investor in somebody's business. That's making money. There are actually easier ways to make money abroad. I'm going to tell you. But if you want to start a business, you got to be clear on why do you want to start a business. Obviously, making money is one of the reasons, but you also want to ask yourself, like, what is my appetite for taking risk? Starting a business anywhere in the world is a risk-taking venture. My sister was telling me this morning about people that have Airbnbs in Europe, in Paris specifically. There is somebody who is in court right now because what people are doing is they will come to your Airbnb and they will change the locks. Have you guys heard of this? They will change the locks in your house and then you can't get in. And the laws, I think, in France, quote me if I'm wrong. If you're watching from France, let me know if this is true. But the laws in France, apparently, you can't just kick somebody out. So now somebody is in your house. They were supposed to be there for 2 days and they are moving. That's the risk of doing business. This is happening in the white man country, right? And so there are risks no matter where you are. I could go down the list. I could go down the list about the risk you can take. Maybe if you've ever started a business, not, and I think I always like to level set, guys. One thing you're going to notice about me is I like to level set because I think that when we talk about risk of doing business in Africa, we make it sound like the risk is only because you're doing the business in Africa. When in reality, the risk is there because if you have a business, there are risks associated to it already. So the risk is not just right. And let me tell you this: it will be very difficult to pull in that example. It will be very difficult to pull that off on the continent. Let me talk about specifically like in Cameroon. You're not gonna go in somebody's house, change the knobs, and think you're gonna be here when it was supposed to be Airbnb, right? So there are pros and cons depending on where you are. Hi, naturally melanated. Hello, how are you? Welcome. We are talking about starting a business. Risk and opportunities of starting a business on the continent. So starting a business is risky overall. Starting a business is risky. It's important to know that. Any business comes with its own risk. And so I think that there are chances that we take when the business is happening on the continent that we'll never take anywhere else. Like we'll send money to buy a plot without a lawyer involved. We'll never do that anywhere else. Like we'll never do that anywhere. I'm not sending money to somebody in China to buy me a plot that I've not seen, that with no lawyer involved. Like I'm not doing that, and you're probably not doing that. But however, somehow, because it's the continent, we have this trust. We just trust. So I would say that when we are talking about starting a business anywhere, you don't want to leave your common sense at the door. I see that happening all the time. Oh, somebody told me that somebody was selling land, so I just sent money. Who is the somebody that told you that somebody like what? Or I bought land somewhere, I don't even know where it is. Like we wouldn't do that anywhere else. So making sure that we are looking at it with, I don't want to say common sense, but that like with the same kind of level of skepticism, skepticism that we would have if we were starting a business anywhere else. What's your favorite card in Clash Royale? I don't know what Clash Royale is. Surge Protector. So, what type of business should you start? Which is the number one question I get. There are so many opportunities, and it depends too on the questions, right? It depends also on the country. If you are looking at a place specifically like Gambia, there are so many opportunities. Anything can be a business idea. Anything. So the question becomes, based on your skill set, based on your passion. So, for example, I've started a tea brand called Blendscape because I'm passionate about tea. I am absolutely obsessed with tea. So it made sense for me to want to get into that business. So, what are you passionate about? A lot of the time we dismiss what we are passionate about. What are you passionate about? I want you to write it down. What are you currently what and if you don't know what you're passionate about, just go through your YouTube feed and look at the last 10 videos you've watched. What were they about? Cleaning, relationship, politics, whatever that was. That should at least give you an idea of what you're passionate about. You want to start a business around your passion. I know so many people that started a business because somebody told them it makes money. Oh, you should just start it, it makes money. And they didn't last 2 days because a business is going to come with its own challenges, right? It's hard to have a business. It is very difficult to run a business. And so if you don't have any passion for it at all, you are going to quit. Absolutely going to quit. I remember when I launched the tea brand and we did a small launch and we sold maybe 80 bags, 80 packs. Yo, I did not know what I didn't know. Like I didn't like my whole house. We were drying moringa. If I wasn't passionate, I'm like it's not even worth it, right? And so you want to make sure it's something you're passionate about. It's something that people will pay you for. So I'm passionate about singing. I have no business singing, no business. So will somebody pay you for it, or are people paying you currently for it today? So maybe at your job currently, maybe they're already paying you for your expertise, or they're already paying you for your art. Great, that gives you ideas. So maybe when you look at you love anything parenting, you're always watching all the parenting things, and right now you're a teacher. Well, one good business idea could be to start a school. There's such a need for schools. Specifically, I can talk about in the Gambia. Good schools. In Cameroon, I can say that there's such a need also for English speaking, like English schools in the French speaking places of the country, but excellent quality English speaking schools. And I would even say that if you have a school that includes tech and things like AI and coding and is built in, parents will pay. Parents, one thing about education, listen, one thing we're going to do is we're going to pay for our kids' education. So for that person, that will be a really good business to start. So it really depends, right? It depends on who you are, how much money you have to invest is another thing. There are businesses that you can start on the continent for $500, $1,000. My tea business, I started with $200, and we made it back right away. With our first soft launch, we made it back and triple our investment. But we started with 200 and I think $280. So there are businesses that require some investment. There are businesses that require very little investment. So how much money are you bringing? Another business that I know, I've never done it, but um, I've heard it works. So go double check. But Airbnb, but I always thought of Airbnb like you go and buy, right? Like you go buy a condo, you buy a house. But what the model he was laying out was instead of buying a house, you rent. So you go and you rent a condo, for example, by the beach, and you pay, let's call it $10,000, right? You furnish it for maybe $5,000. That's 15,000, and then now, and you have it for the year, and now you put it up for rent. So that's a $15,000 to $20,000 investment, that might bring you, maybe depending, anywhere, like could bring you 30,000. So you could make an extra $10,000 every year in profit. Then you can take that profit, get a second rental. So that's another business. But again, it depends on how much money do you have, how involved do you want to be. The Airbnb model, I love that in Africa, because unlike doing it abroad where you need to be the one, the profit margin is low. And I see a lot of people that have Airbnbs that have to clean their own Airbnb because it eats into the margin. So it becomes very time consuming for a lot of the people that I know abroad that are starting the Airbnb. What I love about doing it on the continent is you can, for $100, $120, you can get somebody to be cleaning that house every day and be there to give the keys to the tenant, double check, triple check. You can have and it's the add-ons that give you money. So imagine you do that business, but you also provide food, you also provide pick up and drop off and experiences. So because that's really where the money's at. Suddenly you've made an extra, something where you would have made maybe if they stayed for 3 nights and you were charging $100 per night, you'd have made $300. Suddenly in the 3 days, if you just take them to Fatala, right by the border, I've seen people charge $300, $400 for that trip. So now you're talking an extra, you know what I'm saying? You start adding on. You take them to the market, the fish market, da 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 da, and you're charging per day for the food. Like now you're talking. So that's a business. So how involved do you want to be? How many people do you have on the ground? Are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to use a company? Are you going to use us to run it for you? Like all of those things matter. Other businesses that are easy, guys. I know a lady who she's great at baking. Again, what are the things that you are good at? So, like my sister, she is a clean freak. She's about to come back and like have a panic attack because we've been in here and it's not up to her standard, right? She's gonna come back and start cleaning everything. Well, a business you should start is a cleaning business. Today in Gambia is so needed, guys, to find a good cleaning person. So people, like if there was a company, people are moving towards that versus having somebody full time because it's so hard. So another business like she could start. Now she might, that's a little bit more time consuming because she might need to come and train the people. And so she doesn't have to move full time. But the first few months, she's going to need to come often and train the people and make sure that there's a standard. But imagine a company that you could call, right? I think in America there was like a 1-800-MAID.com or something that they had where you could just call and they will send you somebody to clean. You could have contracts 3 times a week, daily, monthly clean, deep clean. Guys, these are businesses that right now in Gambia doesn't exist. I know that there are businesses like that already in Nigeria and other countries, but right now in Gambia, that business doesn't exist. So again, if now I wouldn't do that business because cleaning, if I don't have to listen, no, right? So what are you passionate about? What are you currently passionate about? And then you start seeing the opportunities, and it has more of a shot because you are already watching those videos on YouTube. So anytime there's a new idea, a new type of cleaning, you are already on it. It's not homework for you. It doesn't feel like work for you. Whereas if I had the cleaning business, anytime I'm walking into the client's home and it's dirty, I want to have a panic attack. While my sister is like, "Ooh, we're going to clean." Do you see the difference? If we both started that business, even if I had 3 times the money, so let's say she had $500 and I had $5,000, her passion will probably take her farther than my money can. I'm going to say that again. Her passion will probably take her farther than my money can. So you might be thinking, oh, I need money, but that's not accurate. Money is good. Okay, I've done it both. I've done it both ways. Starting, I used to have a party rental store with no money, and I had to iron all the tablecloths and the chair covers. Yo, so I've done starting a business with no money, and I've done starting a business with some money. Starting a business with some money is always better. So that's not what we are arguing here. But I'm saying to you, even with money, if you have no passion around it, your likelihood of failing is high, and the likelihood of failing already in business is already high as it stands, even if you're passionate. So we don't want to make it worse. So I've given some business ideas. Let me see, guys. Let me see what other. Hi, all things Nadine, Maria. Please drop your questions. Drop your questions. Naturally, Melanated 2 said, for some reason, when we hear Africa, we lose our mind and we send money to someone we don't know or know and still get scammed. Like, bruh, we literally lose our mind. Oh, it's Africa. Let me just send. And we'll do silly things. We'll do silly things like we'll buy the plot, but then we don't want to fence it. Or we want to build a house, but then we don't want to bring in an engineer to double check and make sure things have been built. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to spend $150,000, for example, building a home, but we refuse to spend an extra $10,000, $20,000 to bring in an expert to make sure it's built the right way. I'm like, how does that work? How does that work? Yes, like Molly Maids. Absolutely. That business is prime. When I tell you it is so hard to find quality help, that's all over Africa. That's not just Gambia. Like that's all over the continent. That business specifically in Gambia. I know that there's already some in Nigeria and all these other places, but that doesn't exist in Gambia today. You'll make a killing if you can find quality, like if you can find people that are willing to work. You will have, listen, you make so much money. Even with the security business that we started, people used to just have their cousin, their uncle, have their own people, right? That they will bring to secure. And these are the people that will steal. So people are moving away from that and they're hiring companies to come and say, hey, listen, I don't even want to know how you train and what you do. Just send me somebody. So the same concept, but for house help. And I can see this even just not even for the maid services, but for the your gardener, your pool cleaner, your cook. Because sometimes, listen, it'd be cheaper to just get that food delivered than for you to go to the market. So these are just some ideas, guys. There are thousands of ideas. So starting a business in Africa, again, I like to level set. It's like anywhere you need to train your staff. Um, you need to be aware of cultural differences. But I also like to say, no matter how difficult it is, other cultures have figured out how to make their money. When I think about companies like um, MTN and Orange, who are telecommunication companies that operate, for example, in Cameroon, I think the last time I checked, they make more money in Africa than they do in Europe. So there are so many companies that have figured out how to make money with the same complaint, with the same talent force, with the same electricity shortage, with the same problems that we're complaining about. They have figured out how to make money with that same pool of talent. So yes, it's challenging, but other people are doing it. So if other people are doing it, why can't we? Is how I look at it. Yes, Nadine, you're right. Even nannies, even finding quality nannies, even yes, trained nanny that are CPR first aid trained, that know how to interact with children. Oh my God! Now I'm like, I should start all those businesses. I better get off this live and go. But yeah, no, absolutely. That's needed. Background checked, we know where they live, all that kind of stuff. Needed. Needed, needed, needed. If this is helpful, guys, give me some hearts, thumbs up, all that good stuff so that other people can. I think that's what happened when we get thumbs up and hearts. People get notified. We try to get to 1,000 subscribers. I need to buy my balloons. I'll take a picture. I want to do a photo shoot, and I want that to happen while I'm here in Paris. So give it hearts, thumbs up, all the things, guys. We want to grow this channel because there's too much. I am so over people talking about relocating, starting businesses in Africa, like we're talking about starting businesses in Mars. Like it's this extraordinary, difficult, impossible, never done before kind of task. It's challenging, but business is challenging. Period. Like that's what I'm saying. It's funny because I brought my son the other day and we are talking about relocating, and I was saying to him, one of the questions I asked him was, what advice does he have with parents that are parents that are worried about relocating their families? And he's like, relocating is relocating. If you are relocating from Texas to Maryland, it's no different than relocating from Texas to Africa. And I thought that was interesting that A lot of the time we put so much into it. We make it sound like it's this impossible kind of like, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. And getting mentorship and coaching, guys. Getting mentorship and coaching. Again, sometimes I think two things happen when we talk about Africa. People over exaggerate the challenges, and you have a group of people that make it sound like it's impossible, and then you have a group of people that just think, oh, it's Africa. I'm just gonna go start this business. No, 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 it's Africa. And I'm like, excuse me, that's not necessarily true either. So I'm not here saying like, oh, no, it's not gonna be a walk in the park, but it's doable. So you need the right resources, the right training, the right people on the ground, all that kind of stuff. And also being aware of what's happening on the ground is important, guys. There are business ideas that I thought would be great when I lived abroad. Like I thought, oh, we need like a I used to think we need U-Hauls for anybody here watching from America. Let me know so you know what U-Haul is. But it's basically a company that rents trucks and vans. So if you want to move, you just rent like a truck or a van um, from them to move. I thought it was such a great business idea because I'm like, oh, if you want to move on the continent, how do you do that? Like, you can start this in Gambia. Child, they don't need it. That folks be using their taxi. If you know what the taxis can transport, I did not know taxis could transport that. When we were starting, we were moving some things from the house to the office. Do you know what we used? If you can guess, let me know. Put it in the chat. What do you think? Listen, put in the chat what you think we used. It was not a car. It was not a car. It was not a moving vehicle. It was not a moving vehicle, guys. It was an animal. Janabo Sao, it was a donkey. He used donkeys. Oh, Jesus. We use donkeys. We use donkeys to move furniture from point A to point B. I was like, that's what we used. So, although, yeah, maybe you do need a U-Haul. Maybe somebody is going to come and do a U-Haul and maybe it's going to be a success. But don't ignore understanding the landscape of or hiring somebody that lives there and can help you understand the landscape. Because that U-Haul business is a lot, it's gonna cost you a lot of money to start, but is it a need? It's always great. If you watch Shark Tank, they always say that like you want if you can find a business that's a need, not a luxury, but a need. People need a nanny if they're going to go to work, go back to work. They need a place for their kids. People need to educate their kids. Those are basic needs. People need to eat, right? So if you can, yes, can you play in the luxury place? Yes, you can. Again, pick the right country where there are enough people then that can afford luxury. But otherwise, if you can play in the need business, you will make money. Okay, let me see. Yep, it was a donkey card, child. Donkey. Um, Oyindamola asked, how much do I need to start a business though? Realistically, it depends. I started a tea business for $250, right? It depends. There are some businesses that you can start with $0. Zero. A business that's super affordable. I was about to say that and I talked about my sister cleaning business, but let's say you started a cleaning business, you don't even need $100. You don't need a vacuum. You just need to buy your buckets, your soap, your bleach, your Omo, your sponges, your broom. You don't need that's about $6,000, 7,000. You can buy all of your needs to start cleaning with that. And then your time. If you're not gonna do it, then you pay somebody to do it, you put her on a salary. So that's a $200 business. You can start it with $200. $200 you can start a cleaning business in Gambia. I mean, you might need to register it. I don't know what the rate for registration and stuff is, but that's not a lot. So there goes a business. If you want to start a baking business, What do you need? You probably can start it for $50. Your baking pans, if you're making cupcakes, your cupcakes pan. So money is usually not the challenge. People think it is, but it's not. Uh, Faith said, "Can I use digital tools and social media to reach customer and grow affordably?" Absolutely. That's one of the most underutilized. When we started, one of the business I started in Gambia, then paused because I didn't have the bandwidth, was a catering business. That's another business that you don't need anything to start. Just somebody that loves cooking. That somebody is not me, but I had somebody that loves cooking. And so we started a catering business and we started promoting it on social media and running ads. Very little. I think we're spending $1 a day on Instagram ads. And we got so many requests, I couldn't handle it. I had to pause. I will get like 50 requests a day. I was like, I can't. Right? But that's another business. And yes, running it with just $1 a day. That's $30 a month on advertisement. You could become, again, with Gambia, because it's so small, you could be the number one most well-known business in Gambia if you're doing it the right way. And that's with paid marketing, but you could do free marketing as well, and you should. TikTok, like my people love TikTok. In Gambia, they love TikTok. Uh, yes. Listen, Nadine is preaching. Child, am I able to bring a guest on? I don't even know if I'm able to do that because Nadine should be on this live. Yeah, she said that other people that we only see people in the diaspora, we only see challenges while other people, Chinese, Indian, you name it, see opportunities. And I'm making money in the construction game, even in the let's talk construction. They will come and charge people 4 times what it costs. So let's just a build something should be costing $50,000 to build. They'll tell you $200,000, but you don't have to worry about anything. They will handle everything, right? And people are paying them, but guess who they are using? The same painter, the same electrician, the same. I'm not saying that they shouldn't charge. People should charge whatever they want. But they are using the same workforce. The difference there is they have figured out how to communicate with staff, I mean with the client, and it's a seamless, it feels like a seamless process for you. And you feel like, hey, at least I know where my money is gonna go. But again, they're playing just the middleman. They're not the one building, right? They're playing the middleman. Why couldn't you? If you're watching this, you're an engineer. You're an engineer going to work, dealing with the cold weather, wondering if it's going to work. Uh, People are making money right now with less experience, expertise than you. Let's see. It could be. Mudo Lamin said it could be a good business. It really could, especially if you have the money. It really could. um, Ooh, how much do you need to start a construction business? I don't know. Don't call me a liar. I know you will need those machines. Let me ask my sister. I didn't even ask. She said she doesn't know. Oh my god. I need to beg her to be on one of these lives. She's the funniest person I know. Tu m'as pas laissé demander. How about a clinic? Un hôpital? Mm. I was asking about a hospital since she's a doctor. She says it's expensive. Qu'est-ce qui coûte ce sont le matériel, l'outil de travail, le bâtiment. Mhm. Mm. Mm. Yeah, she said everything costs from the actual building, because depending on what you want to use, like what you're gonna do, some of the equipment is really heavy. We're talking about private hospitals. So healthcare is a big thing in Africa, right? That's everybody's concern is healthcare. And so there are definitely opportunities to make money when it comes to healthcare. And so I was asking her, since she's a cardiologist practicing in Cameroon, if she knew what that investment would cost. She said no, but it's going to be expensive. Okay. Because just the material is expensive. Most of the material, from what I know, most of the material to do the construction, the raw material you can find locally. The cement, all that stuff, the sand, you can make bricks, all that stuff you can find locally. But if you're talking about even the towels, there are people that we don't make it there, but there are people that already that export that stuff and it's already locally available. Um, so your doors, your windows, that's already being sold locally. Now, if you want your own, because sometimes I don't know if I'll say it's cheaper, but you might be able to get higher grade or more options. Let's say there's a specific type of tile you want or cabinets you want. It might be worth exporting it, going to China, going to Turkey, and exporting. So there are people when it comes to construction. What some companies will do is they will give you they won't finish it. They do that a lot now, even in the Gambia, a lot of places in Africa where they will give you a house that has the bones, like the walls are up, but the finishes, you put the finishes because there's been a lot of complaints that these construction companies will like get cheap when it comes to they'll give you the cheapest tile, the cheapest sink, all that stuff. So people are like, no, let me finish. Plus, culturally, Africans like to feel like they build their own house. They like to feel like, oh, I picked this and I picked that. And so that's the compromise that you see in a lot of places in Africa now. And so now you can buy it right there if you want, or you can ship it. Good questions. Good questions. When it comes to furniture, I think the video I did about what to pack, what not to pack, I talked about I would have packed all of my furniture. That was a mistake. The mistake we made is we didn't bring furniture. Big mistake. Now that we are looking into buying furniture, I should have bought it because the price of buying furniture locally, I find is like 4 times, 4 to 5 times what I could buy it from here. I'm saying here because I'm in Paris right now. To start a construction business, start with buying good cement. Hocklin and Sinker said, to start a construction business, you got to start with buying good cement. For all my engineers, civil engineers, those are businesses that are right up your alley. Architects, and it goes back to what we talked about, like start a business that aligns with your passion. Start a business that aligns with your passion. I know somebody that used to do real estate, and now what he does is designs, and he's booked, child. He's booked. He does design, like he will come and build, not just decorating. He will do decoration, but also just like finishes. He's able to do like floating shelves and marble walls and all that kind of like finishing he's able to do. And he seems booked and busy and he charges a pretty penny. So that's what he does. And he's put together his team. He's not the carpenter, he's not, but he's put together his team. And I think that's the thing that we also have to understand. There's really a need for those in between people. If you hear nothing else from this, if you're a good communicator and it's around something you love, being that middleman that can sit with somebody and have a conversation and understand their vision and can go back and forth between the builder, the workers, and that client, people will pay you premium. Because people don't have time to manage these projects and be chasing people around. So if you're able to do that, think of an event planner. That's basically what they do. They don't cook the food, they're not the caterer, but they basically coordinate. So there's really a need right now for coordinators, for liaisons. Good questions. If you're just joining us, hi. Say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Actually, I'm curious, where is everybody watching from? Oh, I can see who is watching. Okay, hi Kuzo. Hi Faith. Hi Hoklin. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Geneva. Hi, Modula. Hi, Esther. Hi, Nadine. Naturally melanated. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello. Where are you guys watching from? Oh, okay. Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, that's the US, right? I don't know where Madison. Okay, I've never heard of Madison. But obviously I know Wisconsin. Okay, hi. So it's morning time for you. Or is it noon? Where is everybody else watching me from? I'm taking full advantage of good Wi-Fi and no electricity issues and doing a lot of live while I'm here, guys. Scotland. Oh, nice. Scotland. Very cool. Tu es allé à Scotland? Hmm. Scotland. Naïma et toi? Scotland. Nice. What other questions do we have? What else can I answer? What challenges, what fears, like who is planning on relocating in 2026? The Robinson from the UK watching and plan to relocate to the Gambia. Love it. We have the UK, we have Norway. Oh my gosh. Guys from everywhere. That's funny. I've never been to the UK and I've been invited a few times. I need to make it to the UK. Norway. So cool. The Robinson moving to the Gambia. When are you guys thinking about relocating and what questions can I answer for you guys? Peut-être on va même coudre. Je pensais à ça l'autre jour. C'est ça. Mais ça, c'est plus facile, non? On vend pas les tissus ici. Même online, on va acheter les tissus. Tu ne vois pas. Moi, j'ai vu plein de jolis. Ah bah, ah bah, ah bah, ah bah, ah bah, ah bah. Mais moi, on va mettre l'argent dans la banque. Questions, questions. Yes, Gloria said, are there opportunities for interior design for people who have built their home? Um, what I'm seeing, I was giving the example of the guy who he's doing interior design, but more so from a point of the house is almost completed, like the house is done, but let's say you need floating shelves. You want special things on the wall, right? So basically you will come to him and your house is a blank canvas and you want it zhuzhed up. So he will take care of the curtains, he will order the furniture for you, that kind of thing. But if it's just like, just come and do my living room, No, but more of like, okay, the builder just finished building it, and I need you to take it to that next level. And I don't want to I want you to handle the carpenters. I want you, so if it's just like, oh, I just design, you hire the carpenter to do that special wall, and I just come and design. I don't know. Um, that like, I think people want more of a hand-on situation. So he does both roles, and it's working really, really well. At least in Gambia, it's working really, really well. But I also know, not just in Gambia, like I also know a lot of people in Nigeria, for example. I have a friend who just moved to Nigeria, and she hired an interior designer. It didn't go well. But she hired an interior designer because, again, people don't want to deal with the hassle of hearing, oh, this carpenter is saying, oh, this happened. They don't, they want somebody that they can say, here's the money, you handle it. Call me when it's done. So yes, absolutely. Oh, April. Okay, April is great. Yes, email we do. We do have an email. Um, if any of my team member is watching, can you please drop our website? You can actually book a call or send an email. There's a contact page. So I don't know who's on here. I think Oyen is on here. So please, if you can drop it, drop our website. Uh, I'm planning to relocate to Nigeria, but I get skin reaction to water. Change of mind, those kind of things. So how do you maintain a good skin without hassle? Are you getting the skin reaction because you can buy a water filter? I mean, I'm not a dermatologist. Let me ask the doctor. Nani, il y a quelqu'un qui dit que sa peau, à cause de l'eau, ça la dérange qu'elle est en Afrique, au Nigeria. Les filtres là aident. Les trucs de filtre que Manu a mis dans sa douche. C'est vrai. Okay, so yeah, the doctor in the room here saying to see a dermatologist to see specifically what it is. Otherwise, you might need to use bottled water. If it's just your face, you said it's just your face, right? Or is it your whole body? She said, but I guess skin. Okay, so it's just whole skin. Yeah, yeah. See a dermatologist because I get that issue when I come to France. Okay, I'm itching like crazy, so she had to buy like a filter, and that has helped. Apparently, it's because of the calcaire. I don't know how you say that in English. That's in the water. So, the Robinson, we put our website. You can, well, she put the email. So you can email info@makemoneyinafricanow.com, or you can visit the website makemoneyinafricanow.com if you want to book a call. Good questions. So many business ideas, guys. So many business ideas. Like, so many. No, no, French is not a language spoken in Gambia. In Senegal, yes. It's English. I'll say it in Wolof. It's really the unofficial official language in Gambia, and English, but not French. Not French. Senegal, yes. More fortune. More fortune. Why do you guys want to relocate? I'm curious. For those of you that would like to relocate, why? What's your what are your reasons for wanting to move back or relocate or even invest on the continent? Business questions, relocation questions. Drop it below. If this is helpful, please give me hearts, some hearts, thumbs up and stuff in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Africa is the future. Love that. Yes, Gloria. It's where it's at. Every time I travel abroad, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And it's funny. It's also funny because when I'm there for long, like if I'm there for more than 6 months without traveling, I'm like, oh, I start complaining. I start complaining more than usual. But then I go for like 3 days. I'm like, okay, let me go back home. Let me go back. It's funny, even with the Africa is the future. Africa is actually now. Africa is like the hottest ticket, and it's been like rumbling, but it's like it's now. Africa is now. Like what? It's happening. Okay, the Robinson said to live and not to just be in the rat race. Child, one thing Gambia gave me is a life. Gambia gave me a life. I would say to everybody though, is when you are relocating, allow yourself a transition period if you can afford it, a transition period, because there's gonna need to be a mindset shift and reset, a healing process that you didn't think you needed from the rat race, from the grind, especially for my people coming from the US. Because when it comes to the rat race, like we invented it, you're gonna need because you're gonna feel like things are slow. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, what you mean you're on your way? I think I told the story of how I went to get my hair done and how many people I fired when we first moved because I didn't understand how people can be late. I did not understand for the life of me why you could tell somebody you'll be there at 10 a.m. and you're not there at 10 a.m. and you don't call. You don't call, you don't communicate, you don't, and you come in like there's no problem. I could not understand. Like, I fired so many people. I got so upset because I could not, for the life of me, understand. Like, I thought it was so rude and disrespectful. So there was a time that I needed to understand that says, if you wanted America, you can stay. But if you're gonna be here, you're gonna have to adjust because they're not gonna change for you. So you're gonna need to adjust. Okay? So that takes some time. So give yourself room to like change and grow and evolve. Which is why we didn't want to start. I didn't want to start a YouTube channel too quickly. I wanted like we. I took my time, 4 years, because I didn't want to be in this like honeymoon. You know, when you're on vacation. That's how I feel about Paris because I only come here for a few weeks. I don't pay no bills. I'm chilling. I'm with my sister. I'm like, oh, Paris is great. Yeah, it's great because you're on vacation. Anywhere is great when you're on vacation. And so wanted to make sure that we shared. So my husband also has his own YouTube channel called Build Africa Now. Um, we wanted to make sure that we were sharing from a place of knowledge, not romance and excitement because we just moved. Um, are you using TikTok? Actually, no, not for this channel. And I should be, because everybody in Gambia is on TikTok. And people love TikTok. Let me not say everybody in Gambia. The world is on TikTok, but we're not yet. Highest transportation logistic in Gambia. Uh, transportation logistic. Tell me more. Specifically what? Because I can think of a few businesses when you say transportation logistics. So tell me more. Naturally melanated said, Africa is the peace I needed, also a healthier life. Where are you located? Yes, it is. Oh my God, he's a mechanical electrical engineer. It's funny because we want my son to do that, to go to Germany to become a mechanical electrical engineer because there's such a need for it on the continent. Are you kidding? There's such a need for it. There's such a need for quality mechanical electrical engineers on the continent. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, absolutely yes. But what I would say that I tell everybody, come to build businesses. If you're coming to say I'm gonna get my 9 to 5 job, first of all, most places cannot afford you. They cannot afford your 60,000 euro salary, $120,000 salary. They can't. They most places, child, what you making more than the CEO? Like what are we doing? They probably cannot afford that salary. So where the magic is, what we need are builders, people that are gonna come and start businesses. That's where the opportunity is. Uh, Mukobo said, I understand your Outlast business coaching. Okay, research. But do you have room for those that don't necessarily earn a six-figure salary in the diaspora but want to transition to doing business in Africa? Yes, we do. Book a call. Yes, we do. Or send us an email. Definitely we'll need to adjust because I'm always on time. Chad, listen, let me tell you the story. So I'm a type A. Okay, I like my things organized. I was a project manager. I'm a business coach. Like things need to make sense. If you said eight, so I first get to Gambia, right? I'm like, I'm gonna get my hair done. I call my mom. Somebody refer somebody to me that like, oh, she does a good job. We schedule an appointment for Saturday. I call her on Wednesday. Hey, I wanted to do my hair on Saturday. I want to make sure that you know how to do this style. Uh-huh. I can do the style. I said, let me send you the picture. She looks at it. I can do it. How much? She gives me the price. Do you have the hair? I have the hair. Don't worry. Da, 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 da. Friday, I sent her a message on WhatsApp like, hey, confirming, double checking and confirming our appointment for tomorrow at 8 a.m. No, 9 a.m. Does that work? That works, inshallah. I'm gonna be there. Okay. That morning, 7 a.m., I sent her a text. Okay, I'm getting ready. I'll be leaving at 8. 8 a.m., I'm in the car. My mom is in the car. I text her, we've left now. We should be at your place a little bit earlier, but don't you worry. 9 a.m. still works. She's like, okay. We get there 8:45. I don't even call her because I'm early. 9 a.m. I call her. I'm like, hey, the shop is still closed. She's like, oh, don't worry. There's somebody next door. Let him pull a chair for you. Her place is on the road. Like two chairs on the road. The guy pulls two chairs. Dogs are walking by. We wait 9:30, 10 o'clock. I call her. I'm like, girl, nobody is here. She's like, oh, inshallah, I'm coming. 10:30. She's like, well, I've had to cook. I'm going to the market. Said, I'm going to the market. When I finish, I need to cook, and then I should be there by 1. I told my mom, let's go. We left. I was so pissed. When I said I was pissed, I was so angry. The girl was unbothered though. Unbothered. No, she was very much unbothered. It was giving very much unbothered. But I've had to learn, right? So how do you do that? And how do you, so then the reality around starting, then if that's the reality, how do you start and run a business? That's just a small example. That's just not a big deal. I was just doing my hair, blah, 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 right? So how do you then start a serious business when that's kind of the mentality in Africa as a whole, where time is just like suggested? Um, those are the challenges that we face. Other challenges that we face that are not even, so I have a team of 7, all located in Nigeria, that help me run my coaching business. And that reality is they're always on time, right? That's the culture we have there. They're always on time. We always on time. So that's no problem. But the challenges that we face sometimes is power outage. So like 3 of my staff are in a town right now where there's no power. And so what does that look like? Because I have clients that don't care. My American clients don't want to hear it. They don't even understand what you mean by power. Like they don't even, and they don't care. So how do you then run a business, a serious business with those challenges? That's the opportunity. That's, some people look at it as challenges. To me, that's the opportunity. Because if you can figure that out, then you stand out. You stand out. There's a business, there's a lady that opened up a new salon in Gambia, and they're always on time. I used to go to another lady by my house where they open at 10, but when I walk in at 10, that's when they're cleaning the floor. Then they have breakfast at 10:30. They've not done my hair yet, so we don't start till 11:30. This new place I go to, they start on time. They are professional, but they charge three times more. I will pay three times more. So you see the opportunity. So they came in while other people were like, oh, that's Africa, nobody's on time. Da, 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 da. No, they came in, figure out what to do, paid more, pay the employees much more. They figure out the system, and they're able to come and take over the market because they are on time. So you can look at it as challenges or you can look at it as opportunities. What are you going to do differently when it comes to your business? Um, let's see. Oh, you're in Gambia. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Very thankful for your channel. Oh, thank you. Shall we try? Can we clap for all the content creators? It's a full-time job. And we're not even taking it to the level like you're supposed, like we're not even, when you talk about like people that create content, we playing. Like people do this for real, right? Like they do these lives like this daily. They mean it. Um, Delivery companies, transportation, and import export services. Yes, they're opening a new port in Gambia very soon. It's been approved. I don't know when it will open. Uh, awesome. We look forward to chatting with you, the Robinson. Inshallah. God willing. But you know what? One thing that I've learned to appreciate being in Gambia is the faith. Because truly, God willing, right? Like truly, I'm gonna be there at 8 if it's in God's will. It's true. Because we sometimes, I think, like especially in America, we want guarantee. What's the guarantee, girl? I can't give you no guarantee. I'm gonna be there when I get there. I can't guarantee that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. Uh, oh, my husband would like to teach the Gambian kids. That'd be amazing. There's not much for the kids. Okay, business idea alert. Business idea alert. Business idea alert. Anything kids related in the Gambia will make you money. There's not much for the kids. After school programs, dance classes, karate, boxing, coding, um, anything for kids, piano lessons. If you know what I had to go through to find a piano teacher in the Gambia, I at the end of the day, when the day ended, I had to get somebody from Nigeria to teach my son how to play the piano online. I couldn't find anybody locally. So anything, so like even a center where you can just take your kids and they can take piano, they can take coding, they can take engineering, they can take whatever for kids, you will make money because there's nothing. Um, yes. So I'm not even mad anymore about the late stuff. I'm like, at least you came. But I do have a few, like the people that I go far with, they show up on time. Like the the people like my makeup artists and things like they show up on time. I gotta say, when you find your few people, your key people, hold them tight because they're few and far between. Um, have a look and please tell us what you think for my husband. Sure. Oh, you've been doing banking for 15 years. There is a company in Gambia. I don't know how well they're doing, right? Because you can have a business, it doesn't mean it's successful. But there's a company in Gambia now. I think they just started maybe a year ago, where they do books for small business owners. So they'll take care of your payroll, expenses, all that stuff. So they probably play. I think if I'm thinking about like the U.S., they have like this virtual CFO. It's that kind of thing. So the person like how they have virtual HR, they're basically doing just that they're local. So they'll just come in, pay everything on your behalf, and drop the profit in your bank. So that's an idea. That's an idea. Yes, it is fate, oh my dear. It is fate. Have you like how long have you been in Gambia? Naturally melanated. How you enjoying it? What's two things that you love and two things you wish you could change? Let the people know. Two things you love and two things you wish you could change. Also, one thing that we talked about at the conference I was in here in Paris was don't think you have to do this cut. Like that is all or nothing. I think a lot of people talk about, even with business, a lot of people used to make people feel like if you start a business and you still have a 9 to 5, you're not this real serious entrepreneur. I'm like, unless you pay my bills, I don't care what you think. But also, I think people want to make people feel like if you've relocated, you got to fully relocate, cut the bridges, burn the place down. No, ma'am. I've relocated, but 90% of my clients are very much paying in US dollars. Okay. And my Amazon packages very much arrive in the US and get to me. And I'm very much travel there all the time. Like, so don't feel like you have to do this cut. It's okay if for a while at the beginning you are doing back and forth and you are consulting for 4 months in the UK and make enough money so you can enjoy the rest of the year in Gambia. Or the wife moves and the husband is doing back and forth. Like, don't feel like it's your journey to relocating and you get to make it how you want to make it. I think a lot of people would have moved sooner if that was their mindset versus this thing of like, it has to be this radical. It doesn't have to be. My kids typically spend the summer in the US, right? And so it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Did I? Wait, I didn't even notice I did. Um, oh, okay. She's been living there for 2 years. We changed the power system. Yes to that. Oh, transportation. How? Tell me more. What's going on with the transportation? No, you cannot receive Amazon from Gambia, unfortunately. There are providers. I don't know if this company is still there. I think they used to be called eZone, and they used to they might still be there, where you can ship your stuff to their warehouse in Miami, and for a fee they will ship it to you, and it took like 3 to 5 days. But to me, it was great. I think it makes sense for little things like your vitamins, things that are not too heavy. Um, yeah, but Amazon, I wish, yeah, I wish. Oh, if Amazon did Amazon Prime to Gambia, mm, mm, mm. It's probably a good thing that they don't. My niece is too cute. What other questions? Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Africa is now. It's time to move. Another thing too is those of you that are from the continent and you are relocating, you don't have to relocate to your own country. I like to always say that. We didn't. We are originally from Cameroon. You don't have to. Because I know that's also sometimes a roadblock for whatever reason, right? Whether it's the political climate in your home country or whatever, whatever. There's no law that says you must relocate to your own country. Are inverters in Gambia readily available? Yes. I, to be honest, I prefer, I don't know, I can't remember where you're coming from. Um, More fortune, but I will recommend, if you're coming from Europe, great. You can bring your own, you can ship your own inverter generator. We bought ours. We don't have an inverter. We have a generator. A friend of ours has an inverter, and we both bought it from Gambia. I wouldn't buy it from the US just because of the power voltage difference. Oh, you are such a planner. I know. Me too. I think planning is good. Planning is great. But I also think that any great person you talk to that has accomplished greatness tells you that there's something about, say that they didn't know everything needed when they started. So, like, sometimes knowing too much is a problem. And I think that's an issue too. We know too much now. I think about 50 years ago, 100 years, 50 years ago, when my dad was starting his private clinic, he couldn't go on Google, right, to look at like how do you start a private clinic. So he just kind of started it, but he had no idea. I think, thank God, he had no idea of what it would become, because I think the 30-year-old him, if he knew that like his clinic will become the number one clinic in Cameroon, he wouldn't have started it. He would have freaked out. He would have been like, "Oh, I need money. Oh, I need investors. Oh, I need to go back to school. Oh, I need," like he would have probably messed it up. And I wonder, for a lot of us, like, are we messing it up because we know too much? I think that there's beauty in us. When we moved, there were things that we were not aware of. Um, like there are many things we weren't aware of, and that's a blessing because we may have gotten discouraged. And I think we also underestimate how much we can take. So as we research, we are like, "Oh, I don't think I could do this, and I don't think I can do that," and you keep delaying, but you don't know what you're capable of. And also, I like to think about what's the worst that can happen. You come, you don't like it, you move back. Like, what's the worst? You move back. Yeah, it's different. Generator is loud as hell. It's loud. But depending on how big, so where we put our generator in the back, you can't hear it from the house, but it's loud. If you can have an inverter, get the inverter. It's better. Oh, by far. But it's a little bit more expensive, but it's better. It's better. If you can, definitely, no question. But you might need to buy it in Europe or just get it from the Gambia. Because they can also, like, especially if it's brands they know, it's easier to repair when it breaks down. A lot of these American brands they don't know. But yeah, I love a planner. I love a planner. I'm a planner, but I overplanned our trip. I overplanned it, but I didn't have as much time. Thank God, because by the time we made the decision to move to when we moved, I think it was 9 months, and there was so much to do. So I didn't have time to overplan like how I would typically, because I can overplan something. Okay, Sukuta. Okay, got it. Every who do I know that is in Sukuta? I think it's good. I think Sukuta is good. You need security, so check out Fox Eye Security. No matter where you move to, like you need, or a dog, right? You need a dog. You need security in general, just to be safe. But yeah, you can repair inverter and generator from Europe to Gambia. That's good. You can, yeah, usually if it's European brands, we are more familiar. Africa in general is much more, maybe it's because it's closer. We are much more familiar with those brands than American brands. And the voltage thing. Don't bring your blenders. In what to pack, in the video I did around what to pack and what not to pack, leave your blenders because they won't work. Just buy them local. Even though I don't like buying electrical stuff from the Gambia. So if you have somebody in Europe um, that can ship things for you from Europe is amazing. If not, fine, you can buy it locally. Listen, the banking system, a hot mess. Hot mess. I will change that too. Because no, we shouldn't be prepared to go there all day. The stories I could tell about that. I agree with you. Yeah. Power outage, banking. What else would I change when it comes to Gambia? More restaurants, date night stuff, I would say maybe. But those are small things. I'm with you. Everything else I'm here for. The people are nice. The people are extremely just nice. Oh yeah, all the government stuff like that takes and not no clarity. Like you want clarity somewhere where you can just if they could have a centralized system. Again, business ideas. So for every complaint, guys, and that's how innovation happens. The things that you think you will change, guess what? These things are going to be changed in the next 10 years. Like all of these things we're talking about are things that we are all frustrated with. Innovation innovation. Some of the things we can change, like we might not be able to change what's happening in the government office and stuff. But um, a lot of the things that we complain about, that's where our money is at. The people are the nicest people. When I first got there, compared to Cameroon, I used to be like, because in Cameroon, if somebody is very nice with you, like when you go to places and there's a problem, they want something. So I used to be like, what do you want? And be so surprised. I like, no, they're just literally being nice, literally just kind. And I was like, whoa, incredible. Very nice people. If this is helping, please drop hearts, hearts. Or like, I don't know, do you guys drop them or do you, I don't know how you do the hearts, but do them. C'est qui ça? Hey, mon grand frère. Dis que je l'attends lundi pour qu'il vienne changer ma vie. Thank you, more fortune. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. I see the hearts. Ah, I missed your response around transportation. You said it's not safe. Okay, the way I see the people in the van, so many people, I'll stop them for putting in extra seat. That's one change. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the 1010, right? Mm, that's a good point. Okay. Okay. Awesome. No, that's good. Thank you guys for the hearts. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What type of content do you guys want to see? What type of content do you guys want to see? Let me know, please, for the YouTube channel. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and turn on your notification. Okay. But what type of content? Oh, you know what I will also change? I want a really good French bakery. Naturally melanated, let me know. Like a nice, where they do like really good bread, really good croissant, like excellent. I'm talking about top tier bakery. Oh, visit people who have relocated. How many people do we know that have relocated? Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's a good idea. I like that. Okay, people that have relocated and are happy, or just because I don't like. Listen, I don't know about you guys. When I wanted to move, I didn't want the bad stories. Keep it. I wanted encouragement. um. Oh, okay. Y'all like Ethan on. Okay. Listen, y'all. If you know what I have to go through to get Ethan on camera, it's a whole thing. But okay, so more videos with Ethan. Okay. Any topic specifically for Ethan and I? And if anybody from the team is watching, please can you write down these topics? Because we'll be sitting and like, what should we record? What do people want to see? Um, it's also because I grew up in Cameroon, in the French side of, French Cameroon, and we were colonized by French. And so we had all the bakeries and the beignets and the croissant and like all the things. And I need that in Gambia. We need it. We need it. So, yeah, Ethan is a right. Ethan is funny, very honest. Okay, one of the videos is coming with me at the grocery store. We already shot it. Okay, clothes. Okay, okay, I can showcase like different clothing stores in the Gambia that are doing their thing. A lot, guys. A lot of my clothes, actually, I make them in Nigeria and get it shipped to Gambia. Another business idea. Because why do I have to make it in Nigeria when I'm in Gambia? Um, okay, so grocery, interview expat. Okay, I like it. You did your own baking. Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it there in Gambia? What do you mean you don't have anything? Like you mean the flour, the things? Because listen, the lady that bakes cakes for my kids' birthdays, I pay her. Is it 2.5? Let me check. I think I pay her $2,500 for cakes. Like that's her starting rate. Let me see. Let me not lie. Let's see how much she charges me. So if it depends on how many tiers and for how many people, but here are her prices. For 50 people, she would charge 12,000 to 15,000. These are the prices. She will charge for 50 people, 12,000 to $15,000, you guys. That's like what, 220, 200 something dollars? For 20 people, she's charging 5,000 to $6,500. But, but, her cakes are bomb. Let me see if I have any pictures. Um, her cakes are good. I mean, I don't know if I've ever. She doesn't usually send me. She can anything. She can design any cake. So like I sent her this picture for one of our friends who's a pharmacist. He was celebrating his 10 year as a pharmacist in Gambia. I sent her this and she did this. Like, but you can learn it, right? Like any design that I send her, she can design it. Sometimes she's out of stuff. Like one time I wanted her to make red velvet cake, but she was out of the ingredient. She did something for my book, like a book. I wanted her to do like a book cake thing. She did that. She's excellent. I mean, like, bro. But she charges and she gets booked. So during Christmas time, I have to give her 2 weeks notice, otherwise she can't make it. Okay, questions. Homeschool schedule. I did a video, the Robinson. I did a video all about homeschooling. I don't know if I covered the schedule though, specifically. So I could do that. That would be good. What he does for fun. Okay, that would be a good one. Oh, it's the cornbread. Oh, you can get it shipped. Because that's what she was telling me is that she didn't have. She was waiting for her shipment to come in. How did he find making friend? Okay, was it hard? He talks about making friend also, but I can do a specific video about like his social life. He has too many friends. Can I answer for you? He's an extrovert though. He has too many friends. It's ridiculous. Too many friends. Too many friends. But yeah, I can definitely do a specific video around that with him about his social life, his extensive social life. Those are really good topics. What other topics, guys? What else do you guys want to see from us? Ooh, cornbread. I've not had cornbread in a long time. Oh my gosh. Mm. A biscuit? Mm. Whew. The KFC biscuit? Oh my God. When it's like warm? Mm. Okay, that was a good thing. That's fine. Uh, is there a place where kids go 10 to 13 years old? There's a vlog that I just did, where we took the boys out to go to the arcade. Yes, there are a few places, but not enough. Not nearly enough. Successful business people, yes. That's an excellent idea. That's an incredible idea. I love that. I just want to figure out what angle. I want to really get into it because I feel like with the interviews, I really want them to provide real value around specific things. Like I want people to be able to watch it. Again, I think there are people that talk about starting business like it's this romantic thing. Oh, anybody can start a business, anybody can start a business. And then there are people that make it look like it's impossible. And I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. So I would love to kind of the way we interview to give the most value to the audience. So trying to figure that out in my head. But yes, I love that. You don't like biscuit? No. I mean, we're building a friendship. Oh god. You guys are giving me some really good topic ideas. So interviews, expats, um, business owners, things for kids, more Ethan, times business open and close. Most businesses close very early in Gambia, like 8 p.m. latest, otherwise 5. Hmm. Oh, ouais, je peux me cacher où. Peut-être qu'on commence par la poubelle, je vais l'aider. On va descendre, parce que les odeurs. When I first arrived, was I more excited or more nervous? I was nervous, but I'm always nervous about moving. Even when we moved from Maryland to Texas, I was nervous because as a mom, my job is to make sure that things feel like home, and it's hard to do that when you don't feel like you're home. You know, so I was nervous. I was nervous. Yeah, I think I was. If I have to rate it, I was like 65% nervous out of 100. I was nervous for the kids, not for myself. A little bit for myself. Let me tell you guys. Okay, I was nervous for the kids, but I was also nervous for my business, for my online business, because I was like, how does that look like? Because part of my business is saying, hey, you can have the American dream, right? Like that's what I tell my potential clients, my clients that are wanting to start online businesses is like, you can have the American dream. You can, whatever the American dream is for you, you can do that and you can run an online business. And in my mind, I couldn't figure out how I was going to talk about that dream while I'm living in Africa. I felt like there was a disconnect. And so figuring that out for myself and figuring out for myself whether I thought moving reconciling to myself whether I thought, I was like, would I feel this way if I was moving to Dubai or if I was moving to Japan? Would I have these same kind of feelings around this conversation? And I had to be honest that I felt like, oh, maybe it's because I'm moving to Africa, that maybe is there a part of me that thinks it's a downgrade? These were the real conversations that I had to have, because if I felt like it was an upgrade, why wouldn't I want to sell an upgraded dream to my clients? Why would I want to say that the American dream is great, but there's also this other dream? And this other dream is even better. And so I had to work through that. And you would think that as a Cameroonian woman who grew up in Cameroon, loves the continent, that I wouldn't have been brainwashed into thinking that somehow I was losing out on something by relocating back on the continent. You would think that I wouldn't have been brainwashed, but I think I had been brainwashed. And so the nervousness that I felt if I was moving to Dubai, 90% of the things I was nervous about, I wouldn't. But I was nervous and I had to confront that within myself. That was a lot. That's more than what y'all asked. That's like therapy talk. Hi sis.
Hi, sis.
We missed you. I'm alive. But it's not jail now. We can say hi. Oh, thank you, sis.
Hi,
Sis, we are
sis.
working through. We're gonna help with the cleaning.
D'ailleurs, on a parlé pendant le live.
Oh yeah, your cleaning habits would do a very good business on the continent, like a cleaning company.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't tell them that we opened the business.
Yes, but in France.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
talking
that's
about
true.
moving to Africa.
Hey, guys.
Hi, welcome home.
Yes. Tu vas porter le blazer.
On va t'aider, je vais t'aider.
Guys, oui. La mère,
Um,
c'est parce qu'on a des enfants ensemble.
is there a place for women to connect?
Non,
Meaning,
même pas.
yeah.
C'est parce qu'on a
There's.
fait tout le débat avec
Well, I don't know of
Ah,
like.
mais on va pas parler.
Sorry, guys, my sisters are. I. Wow.
Elle a dit qu'il y a un autre sujet.
I don't know of a specific place where you just walk in and it's like a community center for women, but you can build with,
Okay.
but you can build relationships. And I will also encourage people to not just connect with expats. That's the biggest thing for me. That's one advice my father gave me when I moved to the US. Because I moved to the US, I only spoke French, and the best advice he gave me was make friends with Americans. Make friends with English speaking people. Make friends with as many Americans as you can. That's the fastest way for you to learn the culture. And that's what I'm going to say. Make friends with as many locals as you can. That's the fastest way for you to actually learn. There's no need. I see so many people moving and they just want to be with the expat. That's it. I'm from the UK. I'm only eating with the people from the UK. I'm only shopping with the people from the UK. I'm like, so why did you move? The point of moving is to not stay unchanged. The point of moving is that the place should change you, right? Like otherwise, stay where you are. But I see a lot of people. Oh, I'm just gonna do a UK community, and I'm not picking on people from the UK. So wherever you're from, but like it's like, oh, we're just gonna stay in our little bubble. We're just gonna eat what we were always like. So why did you move? I think it's such a missed opportunity. So the one piece of advice, what has helped me, right? You do what you want, but what has helped me was making really good friends with the locals because they could help me understand things better. Any advice on renting a three-bedroom house first? Uh, we rented when we first moved, so yes, you should. The only issue, oh, thank you for the like. The only issue too is like finding somebody. Definitely contact us, and we can see who we can put you in contact with. But like, the communication is really tough, even with the real estate people. Like for them to get back to you, for them to, it's when you're not on the ground. So if you need help with that, contact us, and we can see who we can put you in contact with. Because and if you are moving in April, December-ish, now is a good time to start kind of gauging what your money will get you, right? Like, okay, like just kind of shopping around to get familiar. But then January is a good time to actively be looking. No, I'm not Muslim. I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm not Muslim. You can absolutely, and easy places to make friends. Go to the restaurant where you get your nails done. Um, where you grocery store. The people are very friendly. Sunday brunch. There are lots. They love doing Sunday brunch at the hotels and things like that. So like you go to Tamala and just start having conversations with people. Like it's gonna be very easy. Yeah. Wait. So not no not you not me. Are you? Wait. Hold on. No, not you. What did I miss? Oh, sorry. You were responding to her. Okay. Okay. Oh, there are a few groups. Okay, there you go. Oh, there are groups. What are the groups, child? How do y'all connect? Y'all connect so that let's give them a minute to figure out how they're gonna connect with each other. I feel like there are even Facebook groups. I'm just not part of them, but I think there are Facebook groups as well, and there might be WhatsApp. So I think naturally Melaneda too has the plug. She gets the plug for you. Y'all connect. Okay. Ooh. All right, ladies. Well, I have a sales call starting in 9 minutes, so I'm gonna hop on that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. This was incredible. Thank you for the ideas on what you guys want to see more of. I appreciate y'all. Stay blessed. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll talk soon, inshallah. Bye, guys.